I think you could all appreciate that perhaps one of the single most important things about the golf swing is the club face hitting the golf ball. The instant the club face hits the golf ball, where should the face of the club be looking? Should it be looking dead straight at the target? Should it be looking left of the target? Should it be looking right of the target? And if I ask you that question, what would your intelligent answer be? Well, if you're like most of the people who are intelligent, the answer would be square, of course, because that's very logical. Well, all I can say about that is that seems to be correct. But like so many other things on our planet, they seem to be one thing, and in fact, they're just the opposite of what you perceive them to be. Now, to test this little bit of theory, I want you to understand that I'm going not to play any illusions or tricks on you. I'm merely going to hit the ball. First of all, you know that at impact the hip would be pulling left. I hit it with an absolutely closed face. Let's see what happens. What would you think would happen? Club face square now, and then club face open. Merely rotating the hip out of the way as I go through the ball, doing absolutely nothing with my hands. All right, let's try with the closed club face first. It's touching the ball. There's impact. Rotate the face. We can see that, obviously, that's going to the left. All right, now let's do exactly the same thing with the square club face. It's dead square. My hands are behind the ball, just touching it. Rotate the left hip, and we can see the ball is going to the left. Not as far to the left, but it's definitely going to the left. Now, on the other hand, if I have the club face looking to the right of the target, and I rotate the hip, we can see how it goes right straight down that line. Now, that's not trick photography, folks. That is the truth. That is called lag, L-A-G, where the face of the golf club, in fact, is lagging behind a flat left wrist. Right, well, we've already discussed the three basics of the golf swing. If you remember, they were keep the club shaft on plane, which controls only the club shaft. The shaft is either parallel to the line the ball is on, or one end of the golf club is pointing at the line the ball is on, which gives us a circular motion. It would stop anywhere, and anywhere you stopped it, the shaft was either pointing at it or parallel. Can you understand how that's a gyroscopic motion on a tilted plane angle? That's what the golf swing is. Now, the second most important factor in direction is called hinge motion, which in fact is club face control. Now, club face control is not only the direction the ball goes in, but also the trajectory of the ball. Is trajectory important? Obviously, it must be important. Now, the one motion controls both. For example, there are only three planes on the universe. We have a vertical plane, which is just a straight up and down line. We have horizontal, and we have an angled plane. And we've just found out the golf swing is on an angled plane, as opposed to, let's say, a tennis swing, which is really on a horizontal plane, right? See, those are two different planes. Now, when the club face goes through the ball, through impact, if the face of the club is looking straight up, as that stick is doing, that is no more than throwing the ball vertically into the air, vertically up. And you can see how that ball would just go straight up in the air. It wouldn't go very far, but it would go straight up, straight down, and bounce straight. That's the kind of, let's say, motion we would want if we wanted to get out of the trap, for example, or over the bunker, or up over the tree. Anytime we want the ball to go vertical, we have what we call vertical hinge motion. Now, on the other hand, if you want to hit the golf ball as far as this club can hit it, in a lower trajectory, we have something called the horizontal hinge motion, which means the toe is up, but look where that little stick is. You see, the stick is in a horizontal condition, is it not? And therefore, with the toe being up, this is what we call horizontal hinge motion. Now, this ball will go much lower in flight, have a little draw at the end. You see, and that's your most powerful golf stroke. Now, in between the vertical condition and the horizontal condition, we have what we call an angled condition of the club face. And as the club face goes to the ball with an angled condition, it will go higher than horizontal and have a little fade at the end. So that ball would fall to the right. It's a lot weaker in that it's a deflected stroke through the ball. It's a deflected stroke. One stroke is basically coming out at the ball. There's your drawing action. The other essentially is coming across the ball, which is putting a fade on it. And the third is the straight up condition, which is called the vertical hinge motion, which hits the ball straight up in the air and down. And you can understand that to be a golfer of any caliber, you would have to be able to understand these three motions and be able to execute them. And they're quite easily, actually, because we can think of the back of the left hand as the face of the club, or the palm of the right hand as the face of the club. So what one do, the other must go along with it. 90% of the golf swings are horizontal hinging, and that's the one that you really need to master to hit the golf ball straight, ball left, to get your maximum distance. All right, now I'm going to hit some of these shots for you, just to demonstrate the three motions. And I'll do it very slowly at first. You can see that the swinging motion, turn, cock, and you can see where the club face would be looking. Bang! Now look at this finish here, how the toe of the golf club is up. If the toe is up, you know that that would be horizontal hinging. And that is going to hit the golf ball as low as this club will hit it. All right? So let me just hit one out there. See, I'll aim right down there. Right on that line, all right? Just watch I'm not going to go through big. I'll just show you how that looks. Look at that toe straight up. That is a horizontal motion. Now, if I go through with a vertical motion, how you start the backswing really doesn't matter. It's all from impact to forward. So going through with a vertical motion, you can see how much higher the ball went, right? And look at the face of the golf club. Face is looking at the sky. The angle motion, I just control the face of the golf club by not turning it open, not turning it closed, just holding what I've got. It's an angled backswing, an angled forward swing. And now the golf club was a little lower. The flight was lower than horizontal and fell off to the right. All right, now I can hit some of these shots from a different direction.
Yep.
This is 99% of your golf swings, guys. Well, excuse me, 90% of them. Horizontal hinging, right? Do you see that? How pretty is that? Is that perfect or what? All right, now, the vertical hinge, where the face is looking at the sky, tend to have a little fading action to it. But you can see how the ball is fading off now to the right. But very high, very soft landing shot, right? The angle hinge now is in between vertical and horizontal is angle. Now I'm going to do that by keeping the club face pretty much looking at it without turning it open here. You see, just keep it looking at the ball there. And go through with the same swing. Now you can see how the ball is lower in flight, but it'll just, well, I got a nice straight bounce. Ordinarily it would bounce to the right. But you see the angle hinge here. Now, my friends, if you can teach yourself to do that, and believe me, it's just an ordinary golf swing, but with you at the helm controlling the direction of that ball. There are only two directional factors, the club face and the club shaft. And if you can do that, you're always going to be able to hit the ball where you can find it. Hopefully that'll be right out in front of you. Now, I'll come back a little later and show you a little bit more about power.